I am very excited to be here with you today live, even though I have quite a huge amount of allergies going on, but I'm sure a lot of us do. It's super exciting to be, well, here it is Cinco de Mayo, so happy Cinco de Mayo, and it's just super exciting to see how things are kind of coming back to life out there. I know all of us are kind of in a different place depending on where we live and what's going on around us, but it does feel like momentum is starting and traction is going, and things are just kind of starting to come alive again. So I hope that is also your experience, and it's part of what we're going to be talking about here today on this Facebook Live. Just so everybody knows, this Facebook Live will be turned into a podcast. And hopefully the audio is figured out so that it sounds like pretty top quality, like we strive to create for Channel Mastery every week. But yeah, today is May 5th, and this is an episode of the Channel Mastery podcast that is just a solo cast to bring our audience and the Verde Brand Communications audience up to speed on the launch of our course, the Multi-Channel Marketing Academy, which I'm so excited to talk about with you today. So before we get started, I want to just make sure, okay, it looks like my team has told me that I am not talking into the abyss, that it's actually working, so that's good. But I just wanted to go ahead and just kind of give you a little bit of the who, what, where, when, and why of the Multi-Channel Marketing Academy, which I'll be calling the Academy through the rest of this because that's a long name. So as I said, I'm the CEO and founder of Verde Brand Communications. I founded Verde almost 20 years ago from a basement sort of similar to this one in Durango, Colorado. And we have grown into industry-leading brand communications firm that is definitely rooted in serving brands that are specialty brands in the outdoor active lifestyle markets. And I have an incredible team and some great partners at the company, and we've just evolved into a really great force within our markets, and we love our community. A couple years ago, 3 years ago, we actually launched the Channel Mastery podcast. And I thought that it would be important to kind of start out by talking a little bit about that with you today. Excuse me, again, I've got some allergies, so forgive me. So a little backstory. Verde Brand Communications is and always has been the presenting sponsor of the Channel Mastery podcast. And I thought you might wonder why we went ahead and invested in that 3 years ago. And ultimately that was the height, or, it was during the retail apocalypse. Excuse me. We saw our specialty brands and also the stores through which they were distributed competing with much larger retailers and mega marketplaces. The landscape was just being decimated. It really was. And honestly, the decimation is more of evolution. It's nothing bad. It just is what it is. And we started to realize all around us that both on our brand partner side and on the retail side and even on the direct-to-consumer side, that people were really not wanting to have change happen. So brands may have been built to a certain place from a founding channel, and that could have been a legacy brand coming from wholesale. We have a lot of those on our roster. Or it could be a direct first brand that came from serving consumers directly, through social media, through everything online. But either way, we found that they had organizations that were really set on kind of how they had gotten to that point and really averse to changing with the consumer preferences that were really happening all around them. You just couldn't hide from it anymore. And we knew that our brands were struggling both on the wholesale side and the direct-to-consumer side, depending on where they came from and started from. And so we knew that we had to start this podcast because we had to bring resources that were specialty focused to our brands and frankly to the specialty markets that we love and have grown up in here at Verde. And so that's how Channel Mastery was founded. And as a former journalist, I love to be able to find trends and experts from outside of our sphere and bring them back to specialty and make it relevant to them. And I also love to interview innovators within specialty who we all know and talk about how they see the landscape changing and always offer actionable strategy. So in our world, excuse me, forgive me, I have allergies today. In our world, as brand communications professionals, attention is our currency. And to us, this was war. We had to help our clients win. Again, excuse me for 1 second. I'm really having some issues with allergies today. Hang on one. Yay, sorry. My gosh. I bet some of you are experiencing the same thing I am. Anyways, just to make a long story short, we were noticing that whether our brands were founded on the wholesale side or the direct side, internally there was a struggle going on around serving the point of distribution more than serving the consumer. And this was a very disconcerting trend, and something that we were seeing across all of our brands, because ultimately what got you to the place that you are is definitely not going to get you where you need to go. And when you're dealing with a consumer that continues to evolve and be trained by these multi-billion-dollar marketplaces and brands like Nordstrom's and Target and et cetera, that we're really doing omni-channel incredibly well, it's very difficult to focus on anything other than the guerrilla warfare of kind of like really clutching like what got you to this point, right? And so internally at our brands, we started to see just infighting and a lot of territorial behavior around protecting the point of distribution and not doing everything to just be remarkable to that end consumer. And there was a war for resources and a war for power and all of that happening inside. And we noticed that there were no longer any champions for the consumer inside, for the shopper inside of these companies. Instead, there were champions for channels. And our marketing lead at our brands is always who we are reporting up to. We definitely noticed that they could be more empowered to advocate for the consumer and be the leader within their organization for that consumer. And there really wasn't a way to help with the podcast. I mean, we were definitely constantly trying to push that boulder uphill, but we knew that we needed to create an online course or something to help them with that struggle. And we also realized that as long as you're not selling like toilet paper or paper towels or some kind of a commodity, chances are even outside of the outdoor active lifestyle markets, there probably are a lot of marketing leads that are experiencing this as well as in other facets of, the economy. So anyways, we decided that we had to kind of throw down and research and start building the perfect solution that we would have wanted to have if we were in that position. And that is what the Multi-Channel Marketing Academy is. And we were ready to launch that basically in late April. We've had a little bit of a delay due to the fact that I'm also running a company with a team during the COVID situation and also now recession. So we've had a little bit of a delay, but not too bad. So here we are in May 5th, and we are talking about our launch. And it's been over a year in the making. A lot of work, and the timing is, I think, great and challenging in terms of our launch, just like everything in life, right? But our goal is that the Academy will challenge our students to relearn what direct-to-consumer means. And if I would have launched this in December with that same moniker, it would have been useful and awesome, I'm sure. But coming through the COVID-19 situation and now recession, it's imperative. I mean, there is not a single brand in existence today that doesn't need this type of evolutionary leader inside as a champion for it. And that's what our stretch goal is to create with this course. Your channels are obviously incredibly important in terms of how you deliver your message and your product to your consumer. But really those channels are the how. And our target consumer today, especially coming through COVID-19, is really way more about the why, more than ever before. And frankly, this consumer does not see channels. And that's something I always borrow from Mike Massey at locally.com. The consumer is the channel. They don't see channels. They don't care about channels. But we do have to know on the inside of our brands and our companies how to put the perfect overlay of channels together to be remarkable to that end consumer with just the right message and the right product built just for them. So it's a huge equation, obviously, with lots of moving parts and pieces. But what the Academy will do is essentially put all the attention on the consumer, not on protecting turf around channels internally. And that will be an absolute game changer. And it couldn't come at a better time because the consumer is evolving at a very rapid rate right now. They care about different things than they cared about at holiday 2019 or even in January of 2020. They care, and we cover right now, just so everybody knows, the Channel Mastery podcast and the COVID episodes that we have put together are continuing, and we're doing lots of town halls for SIA, lots of webinars for bike, outdoor, snow sports, etc. So keep in mind that we do have a lot of content out there right now, and we're continuing to guide our communities with COVID-19 resources at Verde Brand Communications. You can find that right on our home page of our website, verdepr.com. But we are focusing more than ever going forward on how the consumer behavior is changing. Okay, so there's just no other way of describing the importance of it other than it's absolutely imperative. If you are trying to step back into turning your company back into transactional commerce time right now with the mindset of you're thinking of serving a consumer before COVID-19, you are about to waste a lot of time and money. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. And I think the timing of this academy and our time together in it, because I'll be coaching and training and teaching the whole thing, couldn't come at a better time. And please also know that this course is normally going to be much more of an investment than it is right now, because we wanted to make it as available to as many people as possible within the communities of outdoor that we love. And I'll get into all of that in a few minutes, but just know I will be teaching every single module, and you will have hands-on support through this whole process from me. And also a community manager, and it's going to be a very, I think, immersive experience for you. But you can't step back into transaction, and hopefully you've been serving through COVID-19, serving, in terms of content and every experience you can bring to keep your end consumer engaged and emotionally connected to you through the shelter at home time period that we are either coming out of or still in. But now, as you're looking to switch to potentially being transactional with this consumer, there's a lot that has to go into understanding who you're working with and dealing with in terms of who your shopper has become and where their mind's at and what their expectations are. And frankly, how those are going to continue to evolve through COVID-19 and through our recession and the recovery. So this is a fantastic way to learn a blueprint to manage that change proactively and to be able to be nimble for the first time, probably in the history of your service in terms of leading marketing at your company that you're with. And this works for entrepreneurs as well. I mean, let's just say if I was in the position where I had an opportunity to get a resource like this, I would think that it would enable me to really cut the learning curve precipitously. And brands that are positioned to step in and do an incredible job serving their consumer and then switching to transaction and serving their consumer in terms of coming out of COVID, there is a lot of momentum and traction to be had, because not a lot of your competitors will be ready to do that. And I think every single one of us knows a lot of different business leaders right now who are just, frankly, really having a lockdown mindset. And ultimately, what we're hoping to do with the launch of our course is to help you evolve with and hopefully a little bit ahead of your consumer and continue to serve them and continue to show up for them, continue to build trust with them and for them, and to continue to storytell in a way that keeps them so engaged, in a way that helps them self-identify with your brand. It is incredibly powerful, and we have spent a long time refining this, and I'm just so excited to bring it to you. So most important, I believe, is the fact that we are completely flipping the approach of launch. So the launch, in our view at Verde and at Channel Mastery, is going to become kind of the crux for the whole new equation going forward. It's going to look different for every brand, because every brand serves a consumer that's specific to its brand. But just know that you're going to learn a launch mentality and a launch cadence that is much different than where you've come from in the past. And it is something that your consumer is expecting because they're being trained in every other aspect of their life to expect it. And we're going to teach you how to be able to step into offering that, but in a very specialized way that is story and emotional, like storytelling driven, and really carries a lot of emotional connection with it. That is super, super important for specialty. And we're going to go into, I think, a good level of detail that in that next Tuesday, May 12th, in our webinar. And I'm going to give you the information on that in just a minute here too. That marks the official launch of our course, but please know if you go to channelmastery.com/course, you can enter today to win one of 5 free courses that we're going to give away. So we're giving away 5 free seats. That's a big deal. So go there and enter your information. When you do that, you will also be raising your hand to receive information from us on the launch of the course and on the Multi-Channel Mastery Academy itself. So just know that you will be getting some emails thanking you for joining, and then some, information on the course that will give you more of an insight in terms of what you would be signing up for. And then that will lead into our launch on May 12th, which is a webinar. And I'll have all the details here in a minute. So I just wanted to quickly let you know, before I head into that consumers today are less loyal than they were pre-COVID-19. And I learned about this last week on an SIA town hall that I had the honor to lead. And basically we had Ryan Atkinson from Smart E-Tailing on that panel, as well as Ben Bernholtz from Quivers. And head over to snowsports.org and you can find the transcript and PDF and all of that there, so you can kind of get caught up on what that webinar was about. The panel was very good, but they're both software as service providers, and they had some great insights to share in terms of just how consumers today are really expecting true omni-channel, and meaning like they don't know or care about the channels, but on our side, on the brand side and the messaging and product side, in terms of distribution, we have to be completely on it with where we are, how we show up, what we have, and ultimately making sure that we are removing friction, making it seamless. There's a consistency between online and offline. And also there's just like a lack of patience from the consumer if you don't have yourself together in this regard as a brand. And that's really important. And it's another reason why I'm just imploring that you at least get on our information list at channelmastery.com/course so that you can learn more about this resource. Because I feel like there's as much as there is to be gained in terms of being ready to transact and serve as the consumer continues to evolve through COVID. You also have a lot to lose if you're not set up operationally to serve them across these channels. And that's equally important. We can no longer rest on our laurels, if you will, about being a specialty brand and offering a specialty product and a specialty story. And yes, that is all true, but just know that unfortunately right now, today, in May, going through COVID-19, the consumer has less patience and is less loyal than they ever have been, which is a bummer. And on the other side of that, they are more hungry to emotionally connect with brands that they care about. They want to self-identify with brands, and they really want their brands and, frankly, their retailers, their favorite retail shops, to stand for something that mirrors their ethical approach to how they want to live their life. And we do cover that in depth as well in this academy. So I feel like you're going to be prepared for what's going to happen ahead in a lot of different ways. And I am just so fired up to teach and coach and train through this course and get to know our students better. Okay. So just to let you know some details, the academy is really built for people who are in the specialty spheres, if you will. So whether you're a marketing professional, a business leader, or an entrepreneur, we think that there's definitely great value for you with this course. And we feel strongly that it will definitely help you modernize through the crisis, frankly. I mean, it is an opportunity, but it also is a crisis time that we're in, and we have a recession. No one really knows if it's going to be a V-shaped recovery or a U-shaped recovery or what it's going to be, but we know we have a tough road ahead. And I think together, and learning together and networking together, surrounding ourselves with people who are just as committed as we are, who are taking this course with us and expanding our network in that way, will be very important to get through this. And do know that this course will be digitally delivered. It runs 8 weeks. We're going to deliver 1 module a week. It has 7 modules, so there's 1 week for catch up. And we will be having weekly trainings as well as a closed Facebook group that you will be in so that you can network with us, ask questions, and network with your peers who are in there as well. So it's a really cool, immersive experience. We also have a lot of passion around helping our marketing leaders really step into a bigger leadership role within their organization who truly owns the consumer relationship with their brand. This is something we cannot mess around with anymore. This is not this is a position, the marketing leader who owns the relationship with the consumer should be at the leadership table of every organization, because today everything is about serving the consumer. So that is a big part of what we focus on in here, helping you earn your place at that table, report into your peers on a regular basis so they understand what you're tracking with your consumer, et cetera. And basically making it the company more consumer centric as you're taking care to share sentiment, feedback, how your consumer is reacting with content, with product across different channels, et cetera. So I think that's something that is really, really important to point out in terms of what we're offering in this course as well. But obviously, we're going to teach you how to attract more sales and grow your audience through a multi-channel approach that's perfect for your brand position. And I also think just discovering the most effective digital and multi-channel marketing strategies that are working today for the best brands out there and how they could work for your brand is really important. Plus, we are also, as I said, going to be monitoring consumer behavior changes, how to be nimble in responding to those, and really a little bit of inside baseball in terms of like what's happening right around the corner for us. We'll be studying trends and whatnot every single week as we get together in the Facebook group and as we're doing the trainings on the modules. It won't take us off task, but it will just reinforce how nimble we have to be and how there is no set and forget anymore. So this is going to be an incredibly great opportunity. All right, so for more information and to enter to win a free course, head on over to channelmastery.com/course and then mark your calendar for May 12th. We have a free webinar that we're offering. And when you sign up at channelmastery.com/course to get more information on the Academy, you'll learn exactly, what time that's going to be on May 12th and what we're going to be covering. And I'm really sure that that will be a very valuable training for you as well. And it will give you a really good inside look on what we're going to be offering to you as a participant in the Multi-Channel Marketing Academy. So with that, you can head on over to channelmastery.com/course. As I said, you also can look at verdepr.com and check out all of our COVID resources and check out, who we serve and what we do, because you'll get an idea of the company behind the creation of this course. And I'm really looking forward to serving you, getting to know you. And in the meantime, if you just are ready to buy, I'm pretty sure we got our registration page ready for that. So if you're ready to buy, let us know. You could actually reach out to me one-on-one, or you can just go ahead and sign up for the course and just write that in the subject line, whatever you want to do. But we are ready to accept students now. And if you sign up now, the 5th, anytime between May 5th and 12th, you'll go into the closed Facebook group and we'll start to get to work on some background stuff. So if you're ready to join, head on over to channelmastery.com/course and put in your email and let us know what you need, and we will definitely be right there to serve you. All right, thanks everybody. And let's see, this week we also have a great podcast with Jason Duncan with Outdoor Research, one of our revered brands at Verde, and we're going to talk about the incredible journey that brand and company and team continues to make from pivoting from manufacturing to manufacturing outdoor gear to manufacturing personal protective equipment during the COVID-19 situation. So that is a fantastic, fantastic episode that will be dropping this week. Plus you have this one, which will be dropping later this week. And just wanted to let you know how grateful we are that you're in our community, how much we look forward to serving you more. And yeah, that's it for now. I might be on later in the week, Facebook Live. I might not. I really don't know yet. But thank you for being here with me today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.